在收看华尔街电视CES 特别报道，我是主持人德英。那现在呢，我们就在Panasonic 的现场的记者会。那 Panasonic 是日本大阪的一个品牌，那今年它会给我们带来一些什么呢？我还记得去年2014年的时候呢，他们给我们带来一个智能的冰箱啦，就你可以放你的 sake， 就是一个日本的酒精放在冰箱里，他们就会告诉你，你在冰箱里有什么 sake， 你应该配什么东西吃。那这个智能的冰箱呢，很棒的，就你可以坐着，你是可以用你的声音叫它过来，它就会过来。那大概今年呢，他们是根据报道有说，他们会发布一些针对家里的智能产品。另外呢 ，Panasonic 也会发布一些比如说这些希望人进步人们的生活的方式，比如好像创造那些可以省电的路灯，同时也可以保护我们人们走在晚上暗暗的时候的路灯。那我们是来看看他们今天要说些什么。
In fact, we are pleased to now formally announce here today the release of the new GH5, the next generation of award-winning GH series with stronger than ever video camera capabilities. We've listened to our filmmakers, both seasoned professionals and aspiring beginners, and are proud to have delivered a product that builds on the success of our counterparts to meet the needs of the 21st century. The Lumix GH5 achieves the best ever low light sensitivity and the highest ever video image quality in the history of Lumix cameras. When shooting in the dark environments, videographers can now focus on filming that perfect shot instead of worrying about increased ISO noise. The newly applied dual ISO technology suppresses noise to produce cleaner footage when capturing in low light. With technology that was previously found only in broadcast cameras, such as dual native ISO, hybrid log gamma, and 10-bit log recording, we packed this camera with big features to delight videographers and photographers alike. This is just some of the tremendous value that is now being installed in our award-winning camera, which I might mention remains the only mirrorless camera to date that shoots 60 frames per second in 4K. The GH5S really takes the amazing technology we announced a year ago and creates a more advanced video camera with the ease of use that many expect from Panasonic.
Sure. And it's going to take a couple of minutes. So do you think you can tell me a little about this camera?
Sure. So this is the GH5S. This is a sister camera to our GH5. How it differs from the GH5 is in a few different areas. The sensor that is used here is only 10 megapixels instead of 20, which is what's in the GH5. By going to fewer pixels, we can make them physically larger, which means this has much better low light sensitivity than the GH5 does. The second thing we've integrated is a feature called dual native ISO, which gives this camera 2 points that give you the greatest dynamic range and the lowest noise the camera is capable of. One of those is ISO 400, the other is ISO 2500. Now this dual native function then allows us also to use a much higher ISO because we're starting at a much higher point at ISO 2500. So natively it can do ISO 51000 ISO, but it can also stretch out to over 204,000 ISO in its extended function.
So you said this was like $2,499.
Yes, $2,499 US.
So how would you see that? Would you think that this will be good in the 2018 market? Like, would consumers like the price and the functions it's given? Do you think it would be a good sell?
I expect to sell as many as we can possibly build, and in particular for the U.S. market. I can't speak outside of the U.S., but there's been a tremendous amount of demand for a high-sensitivity G-series camera that's in the market. You know, a lot of people are transitioning to keeping a GH as their regular day-to-day camera, and then for low light, they're using a full-frame sized camera, and they're not necessarily happy with the battery life of that camera, or how hot it can get, or its tendency to overheat, or the fact that it stops recording at 30 minutes. You don't have any of those limitations with this camera, plus all of your native micro four thirds lenses will mount to it. So we expect a lot of people will shoot this as a companion to their GH4s or GH5s as a high sensitivity alternative. On top of that, for slow-mo, this camera adds a 240 frame per second slow-mo function, along with the 180 as well, which again is class leading. There's nothing in this class that has that fast a slow-mo function.